So for those of you who've been trading at my levels using the 30-minute candlestick confirmations that I've been teaching, you should have had an overall phenomenal green week. I made it very, very clear to buy call options at the following levels. In terms of the levels that I told you to buy call options, if you've been watching the overall videos, this was one of the levels, the extended hours level towards 608.70, and I explained to you that that was an auto buy level. We ended up buying call options at the exact lows. You're well aware of that, and then it was a strong bullish uptrend. And then in terms of the next level that I gave you, it was 610 to 610.40 to 610.70. I'd explained to you that as long as the SPY is holding above 610 and we're seeing bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations on the overall chart towards that 610 to 610.40 to 610.70 range, the SPY is going to have an overall bullish trend day. Surely enough, it was consolidating and forming many 30-minute pins, and once it started forming that green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, and if you go back throughout my previous recaps on my trades, this is an overall bullish pattern. We absolutely crushed on calls throughout the entire week, having many multiple 100% profit returns on SPY call options, and we ended up having multiple SPX 1000% return trades. Now, with that being said, if you use the levels and if you use the confirmations that I teach, this was another pattern as well, green, red, green, the floor is above the previous resistance, 611 was another level I gave you. And then in terms of another level I gave you that you could have used today, 607.50, I told you that's a level where you can automatically buy calls as well, 607.50. And surely enough, once the SPY formed a green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation at 607.50, it ended up having another bullish trend reversal. So the point is, if you use my levels, if you use the confirmations, if you use what it is that I teach, right, the way I trade, you should have had a phenomenal green week on the overall, on the overall week. You should have been overall phenomenally green, right? So shout out to those of you who decided to apply that information and be self-sufficient. Now, in terms of the new game plan is going to be very simple. So I'd explained to you that in terms of the overall weekly chart, it was going to try to have a bullish week. As you can see, we are close to new all-time highs, and the market did end up hitting new all-time highs. In terms of the weekly candle, it is currently red, but we are on pace for a bullish overall closing week as long as the SPY is not having a massive gap down. Now, if it does have a massive gap down, there will be a dip buying opportunity. But in terms of the 10-day, 30-minute chart, this is what I want to explain to you in terms of the potential pattern that I'm seeing that can play out heading into tomorrow. So this is going to be the first trade idea. If you see that the 30-minute chart is looking similar to what it is that I'm going to explain, you're going to want to be buying call options, right? So in terms of the overall 30-minute chart, you're going to see right here, the SPY has this uptrend slanted, right? The SPY has this uptrend. Here, let me make this clear for you here. So in terms of the overall 30-minute chart, you're going to see the SPY has this slanted uptrend, right? And then the SPY has this slanted uptrend. You see the similarities? And they're both towards the previous closing prices, Then the SPY has a free fall. It has a sharp fall to the downside, right? And then you can see right here, it has a sharp fall to the downside, right? And then it starts to recover, right? And then in terms of what happens next day, it had a small move up, and then it had a small drop down, but the previous closing price was the make or break level. And once there was a floor above the previous closing price, it was a strong bullish trend day. So in terms of the first trade idea I have for you, I'm going to give you a zone. And if you see the SPY is forming support, is forming a floor, you're going to want to be buying calls at this overall zone, right? It doesn't matter if SPY drops a little bit under the zone. What matters is once it starts to go above the zone and form the confirmations, then you buy the call options, right? So this is the zone that I'm giving you. If the SPY is forming support throughout the day at or above this zone, buy call options, it's going to attempt to have a strong bullish trend day. I'm not saying it's going to close strong, but it will attempt to have a strong bullish overall trend. Now, with that being said, in terms of the zone, these are going to be the levels. The upper part of the zone is going to be 610.80. You can even go with 611. 611, 610.80. Think of that as like the resistance overall break and retest level. Now, in terms of the lower levels, the previous closing price, 610.38, right? And 609.70. So 609.70, 610.38, that's the main level. If we're breaking above 610, 610.40, and we're breaking above 611, those two fucking levels, break and retest, buy the fucking calls. If you are seeing support in between the previous closing price, 610.38 and 6 fucking 11, buy the fucking calls. Losing will be a personal fucking choice. Look at how well everything's been playing out, man. If you use the level, I told you, what did I tell you? 607.50 auto buy calls, green, red, green, overall bullish uptrend. The green, red, green pattern has been working non-fucking stop. This is another green, red, green. Green, red, green. Another pattern you can use on a bullish trend day is you just wait for SPY to break above resistance. This is resistance, right? SPY was dropping towards 611. It had a nice break above 611, and then it dropped back down. Green, red, green. Buy the fucking calls on the opening of the next 30 minute. Sell the fucking rip. Keep using the break and retest strategy, right? So if we're holding above the previous closing price and we're maintaining in between the previous closing price to 611, it's going to be a bullish trend day. And then in terms of the final, break and retest levels I can give you, like I said, 611, another one, 611.70 to 612.10 zone. Another strategy you can use is, as SPY is having a bullish trend day, you can just wait for a strong break above any fucking resistance level. And if it's like a 2.5 breakout, wait for it to drop back down, buy calls once it retests if there's a confirmation to break and retest. So that is the game plan for fucking calls, man. It is short, it is simple, it is sweet. That's the game plan for calls. Now, if the market is gapping down, is gonna try to be bearish. If we're maintaining below this 609, if we're maintaining under like 609, 608.50, is going to attempt to be bearish. If we have a massive gap fucking down, then buy calls at oversold levels. If we have some sort of massive fucking gap down, you can keep an eye on 606.50, you can keep an eye on 605, you can keep an eye on 601, right? If it's some sort of massive gap down, buy calls only at the oversold levels. If we are maintaining below this like 608.70 to 609, is gonna attempt to be bearish, and it can bounce at 606.50. So that's all I have to say now. Now, in terms of the outcome that I would prefer based off of everything I'm seeing from a technical view, the easy money play and trade idea is just for SPY to react bullish and to react as a support in between the previous closing price and 611. That's where all the easy money is. I know where the easy fucking money is, and the easy fucking money is in those fucking call options. It doesn't matter if SPY drops a little bit under 610.30. What matters is if it comes back to fucking life and it forms support, ideally, earlier into the day or in the middle of the day, and as long as we're just maintaining above 610.40 to 611, we will be on fucking pace for an overall strong bullish trend day. And look at the move. Last time this happened, it went a little bit under previous closing price, but once it started to turn the previous closing price into support, this went from 603.50 all the way to 609, right? And like I said, you identify some resistance for new break and retest levels. I gave you the upper resistance levels where it can potentially happen as well and where you can use it. But another thing you can do is you just identify where resistance is. So for example, right here, if you're seeing the previous closing price react as fucking support, green bullish 30-minute candlesticks, buy the fucking calls, right? And then if you're seeing some sort of resistance level, so like right here, resistance is 605. This is a massive breakout. When SPY drops back down, buy the fucking retest. I'm telling you, it's going to be a strong bullish fucking trend day. If you see, so you're buying calls at the previous closing price zone, if it's holding up, reacting bullish, and then the second trade idea for you as well is you can buy another strike if this happens as well. If you see one of a resistance level, I gave you some, but it's very simple to just identify for yourself as well. But if you just see a resistance level with a 2-point plus breakout and it drops back down, buy the fucking calls. It will try to break above that previous resistance for a strong bullish overall move. The green, red, green pattern worked at the break and retest. We nailed fucking calls, man. All I've been doing is buying fucking calls and printing at the speed of fucking light. Every single fucking level I gave you worked to an exact fucking T. Losing and going red is a personal choice, especially if you chose to be self-sufficient and trade alongside the levels that I've given you, man. It works. It's very, very consistent. This was the level I told you to auto buy fucking calls. We auto buy calls right here at the exact fucking lows. Strong bullish overall close, right? This was the level I told you to auto buy fucking calls. 607.50. Green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. Green, red, green. Bullish pattern. It works once again. This was the level where I told you to buy call options as well. 610. Told you as long as we're holding above 610. Bullish trend day. 610.40. 610.80. 61070, right? Surely enough, all this fucking support, all these green fucking 30-minute candlesticks, bullish trend day, previous resistance right here, break above previous resistance, drop back down, green, red, green, break and retest, buy the fucking calls. If you just look at those fucking charts and patterns that I fucking showed you in terms of the easy fucking money, and as long as we're holding above the previous fucking closing price, every single fucking trader out there should be green if they implied the information that I've given to you. So that's the easy money. That's what I would prefer to fucking happen, right? And if it happens, I'll be all over that because I'm where the easy fucking money is. I know in terms of a trade idea, the easiest way to make money with the biggest upside potential with the lowest risk. I know what option contracts to buy, right? So it's important to know heading into the market where the easy money is. The market's not always going to give you the easy money, but if you see there's a trade idea with easy fucking money and you see the market is giving you the confirmations you're looking for to make that easy fucking money, then take it. And if it's not fucking there, then wait for the next trade idea. Next trade idea could develop later on throughout the day, could develop the next fucking day. I'm just saying, one of my strategies is, in terms of like my style of trading, is to identify where the easy money is, where it's just so fucking simple to fucking print. And if the market gives you the opportunity if the market gives you the confirmation of that easy money trading idea, then fucking take it. And if there's no fucking confirmation, wait for the next fucking trade idea, right? The trade ideas will continue to develop. This is what I have for you in terms of a day advance. That's what I would prefer to happen in terms of a day advance. But we are well prepared and we are well equipped for anything else that is going to be happening, right? I explained to you some other trade ideas, but what I'm telling you is in terms of this overall lesson with the easy money and a night before, it's laser focused on that 61040 to just react to support. If throughout any point of the day we react to fucking support, that's going to be easy fucking money. If not, it's going to react. It's going to be a bit more difficult to be trading. Like I said, if we're maintaining under like 609, you can try puts. It's going to be a bit more difficult. If we have a massive gap down, you could try calls at the oversold level, right? So I have multiple trade ideas. I just know which ones are going to be the easiest ones to print. And sometimes the market will give me that opportunity and confirmation, and sometimes it won't. And then it's your fucking choice. If you know how to identify what is best, what are you going to do, right? I mean, I know how to identify when to hedge, when to take a YOLO trade, but do I want to participate in that way of thinking and identifying that? Or do I just want to trade the best setups at the best prices, right? So I explained to you the best, easiest money possible outcome. Hopefully, the market gives us that opportunity. If not, we'll be very well prepared and equipped to finish this week very, very strong within the green. With that being said, for those of you who are serious about trading alongside us and making money, it's the first link down below within the description. In terms of this overall week, we've had several wins. We've had many multiple 100% profit returns. We've had multiple 1000% returns on SP fucking X. If you implied the information I've given you, I would genuinely hope for you that you at least made $300, if not $500, if not thousands of dollars. So if you want to trade alongside multimillionaires, if you want to gain access to a real-time zero-day options trading alert system, if you want to get access to our secured private organization and community, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. We trade cheap, low-risk, far-out-of-the-money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We do not use stop losses. We put our entire max risk per trade as our entire position size. That's our R multiple. And if the trade goes to zero, we just let it expire worthless, go to zero. And then in terms of going green, we set profit stops to ensure that we get stopped out for profits. We move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains. And we add to winners to increase the winnings. When we're down big percentage on a play, instead of adding to the loser, we buy a second strike. The second strike tends to print crazy. And as you can see, if you've been watching the overall videos and keeping up with the overall levels, our number one focus is to trade the trend. And the way we trade the trend is the best way to trade the trend by buying cheap, far out of money option contracts. If you know how to master far out of money option contracts, you will have the most options available within the market if you are trading with real money. Options give you options, but far out of the money zero-day options give you unlimited and the most options within the market, right? So we have very strategic systems, and you can trade alongside us if you like. It's the first link down below within the description. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off.